So I developed an air leak on this connection. It sits like that. It's leaking from right there, and I had previously applied, oh, hey Carlsberg, previously applied some high speed low drag Loctite EA3463, and it stopped most of the leak, but a 2-minute repair is going to take probably an hour to really repair now, because now I gotta get all that Loctite off and repair it right with some Teflon tape. So here we go. We're gonna start whittling away. I tried using a sanding wheel. Yeah, it works, but at the expense of possibly damaging the brass, and I won't be able to get a really good grip on it, and that'll suck. And then, so now I'm just whittling away with a razor knife. So it's going to take a while, and I'll spare the details. I'll bring you back when all that smooths off. Thought about how to show you exactly what I'm doing, whittling this thing down. And the only way I can think about doing it is balancing the phone on the bumper of my truck. Well, I'll give you a really quick, come on. There we go. I'm just taking it and whittling it off. Always cut away from you unless you do it this way. Doing it this way allows you just to pretty much curl your hand, and it prevents you from cutting yourself, because as long as you keep your fingers out of the way of the blade, you're still good to go. So you can do it that way for those little tight corners, but it is always preferable to cut away, because this is a carbide blade and it will take a pound of flesh if you give it an inch. Yeah, I'm gonna go and finish this up. So I figured out, I think I figured out anyway, a faster way to clean off that fitting. But first I have to repair this guy. I bought this guy a long time ago. That's the model number there. And last year, I was getting ready for a job. Of course, I took the stupid safety off because those things are garbage. And I loaded my truck up the night before. 0% chance of rain, the weather said. And wouldn't you know, it rained. So I completely rebuilt this, because according to my search online, they no longer make this one. The Milwaukee 6148 heavy duty grinder. And I've had this, I don't know, 20 years, something. I've replaced the switch in it, replaced the brushes in it, replaced the cooling fan, all those parts. They're getting harder and harder to find. So I recently did a job, 0% chance of rain, left the tool outside on the job site, and wouldn't you know, it rained. And now it goes, so we gotta clean this sucker up. So before I can fix the $1.50 worth of parts, I gotta fix my obsolete, no longer sold grinder. So just did a little bit of brushing with an acid wash, and that's the remnants of the concrete I was grinding with this thing. So maybe it's not water damage, maybe it's just a whole bunch of freaking really fine concrete dust that's caught in there and gunning everything up. So you need some Torx. You're gonna need a T15 and a T20. T20 takes off all the transmission head bolts, and the T15 takes off the handle chassis bolts. So we're going to take this whole thing apart. I'm going to start with these 4 bolts up here, slide this head off, see if I can't remove it that way. I'm probably going to have to remove this. It's been many years since I've taken this thing apart, so I'll probably take the whole thing apart. All I have is an iPhone. I don't have one of those fancy $200, $300, $400, $500, $700 cameras. I have an iPhone XR, because yeah, I'm not buying a new one. Screw Apple. So I'll be back. I'll do this in stages so you can at least see somewhat of progress. I'm not a fancy YouTuber. I don't have the money or the resources to streamline and do like a fast collaboration, where you speed everything up and makes them look like they're going a million miles an hour. I don't have the storage space on my phone to do that. I bought the cheapest iPhone XR I could, 10 years ago, I think it was, whenever they came out. So I have to do this in steps. So I recently watched a video on YouTube about Loctite, the red Loctite, you know, the good stuff, pretty much the only stuff that I've ever bought my entire life. And, you know, it's no knocking on Loctite. I once read that Loctite has a life expectancy, so if you don't use it within a very short period of time, maybe up to a year, maybe a little bit more, don't quote me. I'm not a material scientist. They said that you cannot remove screws that have been torqued with red Loctite. Well, that is red Loctite that I undid with my Bond Haas, I don't know how you pronounce that, Bond Haas T20T handle. So yeah, it can be undone without heat. There you go. It can be undone without heat. So all I did was I just brushed, using my acid brush, the majority of the stuff from around it, because this is your gearbox and you don't want all this concrete, this fine concrete dust, aluminum and everything else that I've been grinding for the past couple of years to get into your gearbox. You just want to make it as clean as possible. I'm not going to vacuum it. I'm not going to go anal retentive on it or anything, but as you see, I grease it regularly. I like to pack that thing right full of grease. I only use the good molybdenum type grease. And like I said, this thing's been with me for 20 something years. And it still worked. I would say works, but obviously I'm fixing it. So you can see inside, it's packed. What is that guy? Oh, that's that thing. Okay. Helps you to tighten the blade. When you use a grinder, if you've ever talked to a welder, never use that stupid tool that comes with a grinder to tighten your discs. They self-tighten as long as you get it snug. As you're using it, it'll tighten itself. So take that little spanner wrench, put it in, you know, in a toolbox or whatever, in case you lend your tool out and some newbie goes in and reefs on the tightening nut here with your grinder. You'll never get it off by hand. We just take it, lock it in on the one side, grab it with your hand, and right off. Even with the wire wheels, yeah, they're prickly, but skin grows back, and the more you use it, the thicker it becomes. So my hands are kind of like leather gloves. So let's get this thing off. I'm kind of pulling on it, and yeah, now I want it to come off. Yeah, look at all that lovely dust. I'd be willing to bet that's probably why my armature is locking up, or at least slowing down. So let's see if we can't get this thing further apart, and I'll be right back. So in the back of the unit, when you take these 4 screws off, you're going to pop off this cover, which is going to look probably something like this if you actually use it. And then all that will be cleaned off before I reassemble, obviously. This is the switch. I believe it's if you need a switch for one of these, that's the part number. I forgot who the manufacturer was. I remember it being something like French or something, but it doesn't matter. It's a pretty good switch. And then there's the brushes I replaced. The brush holders. I think it's called a commutator bar. That's there. That looks okay. So there's probably a bunch of just dusty schmoo stuck in there. So we got to disassemble this thing next. So anytime I do a repair, I always label when I did the repair and what did I do to it. That way I know for future. And it looks like I changed the switch and the brushes out in 2018. Had to brush all that dust off to find it. Makes it easier for records, so that way you know when the last time you did it. Because if you're anything like me, 2025, 2018 seems like yesterday. Like, I just replaced this switch yesterday. No, you didn't. You replaced it 7 years ago. So shut up and replace it again. So the switch obviously does come off somehow, but I'm going to leave it on and just pull the motor out. You'll see in the back how the brushes are going to collapse once there's nothing holding it. Then we can look. I don't see anything physically wrong with it. It's not even all that dirty. I was expecting it to be a whole lot dirtier. And the wires are broken. Yeah, good graphite. evenly distributed, no pitting, which I believe would be indicative of arcing. The bearings still roll perfectly fine. Oh yeah, and I also replaced the bearings in 2018 too, because why not? They're easy to buy and source, even though I don't see any part numbers on them. I found a parts breakdown once on these. I don't know if it was a Milwaukee website or an open search, but just type in the model number Milwaukee and parts breakdown and you'll find it. So let's look inside. Let me get some light. A little bit too much light. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So I'm very curious as far as why I was going and turning really slowly. Maybe I just need to squirt some Go Faster in it, and maybe that'll do it. So let's start the reassembly. You're going to take this part and the brushes. You're going to put it into the housing, spread the brushes apart, slip it in, and you're good to go. And that, gentlemen, is how you know you married the right one. Thank you, my lady. All right, so as you see in the back here, the brushes are hitting. So what you do is you take your fat finger and you shove it in there, spread them apart until you get to that part. You take another tool. This is so difficult to do looking through a camera. You just kind of put a little bit of downward pressure on it. Yeah, hopefully this is within frame, because I have to look at this with my own eyes, like Vader said. Take that guy. There we go. Just like that. Realign the top. Get up over that little nipple right there. It's lined up there. Nothing seems to be in the way down here. Gotta make sure you get the bearing and a little bearing holder, a little slot right there. When that's flush, which it is, you are good to go. All right. Brushes seem to be at the right angle. Just those little brass holders back down. And okay, so let's go. Now it's just reverse process. Put the two clamshells on the back. Put the front piece on the front. Oh, I should probably clean these up. Hold on one second. All right. So we're nice and clean. Not as clean as we need to be, because let's be frank, this tool is going to get dirty again anyway. But it's cleaner, and it's clean enough, as AVE says. Who, by the way, AVE is probably the premier mechanical parts breakdown guy. He's given us so many great words to expand our lexicon as mechanics, like skookum. Use it. I've been using that for freaking 10, 15 years, easily. Skookum as frig is one of my favorite, and good enough for the girls I go out with, even though I only go out with one, because, you know, I'm married, happily, very happily married. So yeah, it's good enough for the girls I go out with, and this tool is skookum as frig. So I drink this for you, AVE. Awesome. All right, so yeah, all you do is put this back together. This I'm going to try to do in real time. There's a little tab here, fits into a slot there. And the strain relief has slid down. So let's bring that guy back up. It goes in there like that. This part here goes in like that. Make sure all the surfaces touch, which they do. Take the screws that go into this part, put those back on. So if you're wanting to know the teardown procedure, just do the exact opposite of what I'm doing right now. Come on. Oh, I got the wrong one. Yeah, these are T15, not T20s. Snug them all up. Even though they're in plastic, so it takes a little bit more snugging to snug them up. Which I guess that would mean that wouldn't be snugged up. Snug. And then a quarter turn, or a little bit less. You don't want to reef on these things, but this is a pretty durable tool. You can really abuse the snot out of it, and it should. Oh yeah, here's another great one from AVE. Chooching. It could keep chooching. Should keep chooching. So take your transmission head. As you see, I've cleaned off all of the I'm going to use another one, shmoo, from it. Just put that in there. It should go. Shoot. Okay, the brushes still are in there. Why is it not going in there? Use a brass brush. If you want to scrape it, I think this is magnesium. It could be aluminum, but I think it's magnesium. There's ways to check it. I'm not going to do that. This should fit just like that. Somewhat like that. Let's put the screws in. Which one? These screws. I don't know how these YouTubers do it. You know, maybe they've got like a tripod or something. I'm using a work light. That because of the focus on the camera that I'm using, which is an iPhone XR, as I've already said, I'm limited to vertical spacing, the Z height. You know, that's a great question. I do not know if iPhone XR will automatically focus depending upon the distance from the camera. I guess I'll have to see that later on when doing some editing. I'm certain I'm bouncing all over the place here. Oh, that one's already got one. There we go. Come on, gotta find the hole. The ends of the screws are jammed packed with all kinds of stuff, which is preventing me from getting good purchase and depth on my T20 T-handle. Do it once more, go all the way around, make sure you got it. Now, as far as the grease being in there, obviously it's not really impacting this this gear on that gear, but this head gets pretty warm. I mean, if you use it for hours and hours like I do, I mean, shoot, I can put honestly a constant hour of work into this grinder, easily in a small job. This stuff heats up so well, and the grease just drips down, kind of coats it again, and it sets. The next time you go, 13,000 RPM, it sprays all over the place again. Now, because I do not use, oh yeah, it says back right there. I was going to say because I don't use the little guard. You're supposed to. It's safer to do it. I've been doing this almost what, 35 years now. The first thing I do is I throw the guard away. You shouldn't do that. That's just what I do. And and I'm a safety guy too. Imagine that one. So it says back on it. So let's put that towards the back. It meshes well. Let's put these last 4 screws in. Again, we're going to use the T20. I'm not going to thread lock these guys this time. I don't think it was really needed for me to do it last time, but I went ahead and did it because I thread lock everything. I guess some things just you don't really need to. I have recently, for the first time in my entire life, bought some blue thread locker, mostly for firearms accessories, because you should not use red thread locker for pretty much anything on a firearm accessory rail, like a Picatinny, because they're all aluminum. You use red thread locker, then you got to use a torch, and you can damage the finish of your firearm, and that's no bueno. You don't want to do that. So I have bought some, I think it's 292 or 252, whatever the Loctite blue stuff is. It's still in the package. I haven't opened it up. I might have to use it one day on something. But today is not that day, gents. Today is not that day. All right, get rid of the old and let's plug it in. Oh, shoot. Dang it. All right, so as you just saw, and hey, I didn't swear. I forgot to put this piece. This piece goes in this end. Let's see, how does it go? Does it really matter? Yeah. There is an orientation. Let's say it goes in. Maybe that way. 1, 2, 3, but there's 4. It fits. Doesn't fit because of these 2 ears. So it either goes this way or that way. Seems to be pretty happy that way, so we're going to go that way with that. All right. So yeah, the round part is going to go away from the switch, and your 3 ears with the 4 alignment pins, so it should be orientated in that direction. So hey, guess what? Now I guess I get to do the whole assembly again. We're going to leave the head attached because I don't think that got to take that one off. I only did because it was just so much easier to take off, so I can really adequately clean it. Just same thing as before. First step. Second step, seat the bearing in the back. Oh, yeah, so you gotta line these little pins in the front. Like that. Okay. It's in the back, good. Brushes are pushed back in, good. I'm looking at these pins here. Let's put those hold down screws back in once again for the first time. Well, hell, you've actually already seen me do this, so give me a second. All right, so I got it back together the right way, because it's just a second ago when I turned the camera off, I realized I was putting that thing 90 degrees out of phase. So it's plugged in. Let's see what it sounds like and see if we fix the problem. Again, when you would engage the switch, it would turn, but it would go a lot slower than normal. It would go really fast, but it would still be a lot slower than normal, and would kind of bog down like there was something jammed up or stuck inside. So here we go. I don't know, maybe the grease that I use just takes a little bit of time. Yeah, it's already starting to get warm. Did you hear it? It was slowly raising in RPMs. I wonder if I can measure that. Give me a second. All right, so we're going to measure and we're going to watch and see how in the beginning it's a lot slower and then it gets faster. It used to just go from 0 to a million, but it's not doing that now. So let's see what we got. I wonder if it'd be any different if I use that reflective tape that this thing comes with. Let me try that. All right, so we got a little piece of reflective tape there. We're going to try the same test again without getting glare. All right. Yeah, I'd say that you really have to, with at least with this tool anyway, you really have to use that the reflective strip on there so you get a more accurate reading. You saw the first one without the strip; it was hunting around everything from like 7,000 to 9,000 or so. But with the reflective strip, it was pretty much sitting right about between 8,000 and 9,000 because I'm looking through a camera and trying to aim the laser, doing two different things at once. But yeah, I think that was a win, gentlemen. I really do. I think she's got a couple more years to give me before she craps out, and then I have to either fix her again or, God forbid, buy a new one. So, finally able to get my celebratory beer my wife lovingly gave me, and we're going to call this a win. Now, let's go fix that air compressor and fix that $2 part that's leaking. Now I've spent 2.5 hours fixing this guy. All right, later. Now with the repaired grinder, we can make quick work of this, I'm assuming. Let's see if we can do this one-handed. Yep, sorry about that. Trying to hold the camera and a grinder with one hand. So yeah, that works a lot better. So let me go clean that up and I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna call that a win. I think it was definitely worth spending the probably 2 hours it took me to fix this grinder, so that I can once again not only use the grinder in the future, but save me $2.50, maybe $3 at the Home Depot, which is within walking distance of my house. But hey, the big win is now I can use my grinder again. So yay. Let's put this on the air compressor and Well, first I got to take that off, and then I used PTFE pipe dope in there, but it was leaking. So I'm gonna use some tape. We're gonna use some Blue Monster tape, and that should do the trick. So we got our Blue Monster PTFE tape, and when you tape stuff, it doesn't really matter what it is. You want to hold it like this, right? The reason you hold it like that, get your fitting like this. Hold down your thumb and spin it thusly. Because what you want is you want your PTFE tape to go on so that the tail end is going this way. Well, when you tighten your fitting down, it's also going to go the same way. What you don't want to have is the PTFE going that way, so that when you tighten your fitting, it actually unrolls your tape. I learned that by doing cryogenics on aircraft. That's how I learned that, but now you know it too. So hold your tape so that the overhand is in your right hand, or if you're left-handed, I don't know how you would do it, but you'll figure it out. So that you can meter out your tape with the squeeze of your hand, and as you roll it, you're just doing that. You get 2 or 3 wraps and you're good to go. And this stuff, gents, this is good stuff. This is for gas, propane, water, pneumatic. Love this stuff. It's thicker than regular tape. Yeah, you can buy the thicker white tape. You can even use the yellow tape. That's just for gas and fuels and so forth. But for the amount of tape that you get, this stuff's great. I love it. Try it out. So it's all back together. Use the blue tape this time. I was using my my water squirter. It's got a little hole drilled in the end there, so that you just get a stream. And I was rinsing it off because it had a lot of dust and debris and junk on it. I already know it's leaking, but let me show you. So we got our Cactus Blossom soapy water. It's just Dawn dishwashing detergent. Using, I don't know what this originally was. Maybe my wife gave it to me. I was like, hey, it's a spray bottle. Yeah, I'll take that. So we just take that, we spray it on everything. Give it a good coat. I like this because it's a good mist. You can spray some stuff we didn't work on, because anytime you tighten anything and loosen anything, you could disrupt something else. And I'll show you where it's leaking from. Right there. Well, right. Dang it. Where is my light? Right there. It's leaking above the connection, right on the 90-degree fitting. Thank you, Home Depot, for providing crap-ass freaking brass fittings, because that was new. It's leaked the moment I brought it home. I think that was like $1.50 or whatever it was, $2, $2.50. And I can't keep track of prices anymore. Everything doubles within every 17 days. It's almost like hyperinflation. But yeah, the crap ass fitting I bought from Home Depot to do this jog over, so I can put my pressure gauge on it, was leaking from day one, and I thought it was a thread leak. That's why I put that Loctite epoxy on there. See it? Right from the housing. So one day this is going to either catastrophically fail, or I'm going to go back to Home Depot and buy another one, because that's the only place I can get them from. Yeah, you can get them from McMaster-Carr, probably. I would guarantee you. I can't guarantee anything. Probably a better quality brass than the Chinese chicom crap that Home Depot and Lowe's and so forth sells, but it's literally within walking distance of my house, so I'm probably going to go get another one and stop that leak. That way there, this stupid thing does not come on at 2 o'clock in the morning, because my bedroom is right above that light. So, yeah. At least we got a grinder out of it. Grinder's fixed. I'm going to call that one a win. And F this noise. It's Saturday. I'm on vacation. So, that's enough for today. So So in the future, I'm going to fix this, but that's not going to be today. All right. If you have any recommendations, I mean, you guys see my shop. It is a complete and utter disaster zone. It is a mess because I've got so many different projects going on, especially the Volvo XC90. Yeah, give me a suggestion. Like that fan, I have to figure out why that failed. That was brand new. Bought it from Northern Tool like 4 years ago. It lasted for about 2.5 years, and then it left the brown stain in the mattress, and I took it off from up here, and now it's down there. Another motor shot. Got to figure out what's wrong with it. Maybe I can fix it. Probably going to buy a new motor. But I'm poor, so that's why everything takes so damn long to do a complete project. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments section below. Please subscribe, because apparently I did not know this. I thought if you just get thumbs up on videos, you know, your video gets put out there to more people. I want to help people. I learned everything that I know pretty much from actually doing the job. You know, I've done it for 3 decades. I just want to help people know what I know, because one day I'm not going to be here. And we as tradesmen, we really need to pass this information down to the next generation. So that's pretty much why I'm making these videos. Not to make any kind of money. That's really not what I'm doing. I make plenty enough money doing what I do on a day-to-day basis. But I really want to get this information out to as many people as possible. So if you have a similar situation that you're dealing with, you can come to YouTube and learn what to do to fix your own crap. So there you go. Later.